So now we will see the array data types in the NumPy library. So guys, over here the NumPy library tries to predict the data type of the array by default based on the values that you have provided if the data type is not specified while you are creating the NumPy array. And then we have the dtype property that is used in order to get the data type of the array. So guys, let us check this with the help of examples in VS Code. Over here we will check the first example in this case where we are providing the simple integer values. So let us move to VS Code. Simply I'm going to create a new file in this case. The name of the file will be datatype.py. in this case this is the Python file over here. Okay, simply we are going to import the NumPy library as np in this case, and simply we are going to have the NumPy array of integers. So np array followed by open and close parenthesis. Simply we have the 5 elements, that is 1 2 3 4 5. Now guys, as you can see, these are the integers. So how do you confirm what is the data type of this particular NumPy array over here? So simply we will say print followed by f. So let us format this particular string. The data type of array1 is followed by open and close curly braces this time, and simply we will say array1 followed by dot, and this time we will make use of the dtype property which helps us in order to get the data type of the NumPy array over here. Let me just save this file now and try running this code on the terminal. So as you can see, the data type of array1, it is int64. So guys, whenever we are providing the integers inside the NumPy array, it is going to set the data type as int64 over here. Let us take another example where we are taking the values as the floating numbers. So simply I'm going to provide another array, that is array2. It is equal to np array this time, followed by we will be having the values that are floating numbers 1.0, 2.0, and then let us say 3.5 over here, then 4.0 in this case. So let us provide the print statement over here, and let me just copy this print statement from top since I am little bit lazy this time. Now over here we have the data type of array2 this time. It is equal to array2.dtype in this case. So guys, basically we again use the variable that is array2 over here followed by the dtype property, that is the data type. Let me just save this file now and try running this code on the terminal. So now as you can see, for array2 we are getting the data type as the float 64. That's because the numbers that are included within this particular array are the floating numbers. Apart from this, we can also have the array of strings as well. Now guys, array of strings is little less common. That's because using the NumPy library we mainly deal with numbers to carry out the different mathematical operations, but still let us see how we can create the array for the string as well. So we have np array followed by the list that must have the string. So let us say we have programming as the first string over here, followed by Python as the second string, and then let us say we have another string that is beginners in this case. So guys, let us print the data type. So let me just provide the copy of this particular print statement over here. We will say the data type of array3 this time, it is equal to array3.datatype. So let me just save this file now and try running this code. So as you can see, we are getting u11 as the data type, which represents the string over here. So guys, in this way you can easily verify what is the data type of a specific NumPy array based on your project requirements during the runtime. Now guys, this is as far as checking what is the data type of a specific array is concerned. What if you want to explicitly set the data type of a specific array? So how we can do that? So let me just comment out all these lines of code over here. We will provide another array this time. So array4, it is equal to, let us provide np array, and then this time we will provide the integers over here. So let us say we have 1 2 3 and then 4, and then after we have provided this list inside the parenthesis, this as the first parameter, we provide a comma, and then as you can see we are having the dtype parameter as well, which is accepted by this particular array method. So simply we will provide dtype, it is equal to, we can simply say int64. Now guys, by default all these are integers, so basically int64 will be the data type of the array 4 as well, and explicitly since we are setting it, it will not make any effect over here, but still let us confirm this by using the print statement. So array4.dtype will give us the data type of the array 4 this time. Let me just run this code once again. So over here we are getting the int64 as the data type. Let us print the array content as well. So simply we will have array 4 over here, which will help us in order to get the content. So we are getting 1 2 3 4 as the content and the int64 as the data type of this particular array. Now guys, let us say we want to make this numpy array as a floating array over here. So instead of int64 we have to set it as float64 in this case. So simply we will say float64 this time, and let us see what will be the output when we print the array content and also the data type of the array. So when we save this file now and try running this code, as you can see we are getting the decimal point over here, 1 point, 2 point, 3 point, and then 4 point in this case, and now the array is converted into a float64 array. So guys, in this way, while creating the numpy array, you can provide the data type based on your project requirements, and then accordingly the content will be set for that particular array along with the data type as well. So guys, this is the example that we just saw over here by creating a new array and setting the data type as the float64. So guys, comment in the comment section below whether you have learned something out of this video. Please make sure that you like this video so that it reaches to more people, and subscribe to this channel so that you get the notifications on upcoming videos as well. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, stay tuned.